Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm interviewing Lori Konkler. She is the founder of Exennial Traveler, offering coaching for entrepreneurs who want to develop a powerful personal brand and a sustainable location-independent business. She's a certified business consultant who specializes in helping digital nomads to make real money online, allowing them to leave their 9-to-5 life in the rearview mirror. So
Mhm.
Lori is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm in Koh Samui, Thailand, and let's welcome Lori to the channel.
Hey, hey, hey. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm excited to be here. And yes, I am coming to you from the beautiful Virgin Islands. I think we're like exactly 12 hours apart. So sunset for you,
Yeah,
sunrise for me.
exactly. It's 6 o'clock here. I'm imagining it's what, 6 a.m. in the
Oh,
Virgin
okay. Yeah,
Islands?
we're 13 hours, so 7 a.m. here. 7 a.m.
Okay. So sun's just coming up. It's setting over here
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Thailand.
So it's literally coming up over the mountain as we talk. It's awesome.
Great. So yeah, tell me more. I think we've been connected on LinkedIn for a couple months now.
Mhm.
And you reached out to me through my group for remote workers, and I
Yeah.
think we spoke a couple weeks ago and want to set up this interview. So tell me more about the Zennial Traveler and how you
Yeah.
help digital nomads.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the Exennial Traveler was something that I founded, I don't know, like actually about 7 years ago, I think. And it actually started as a travel blog. So that's what I thought I was going to be doing when I first started this. And as time went on, I realized that, the more people I talked to, um, the more people I realized wanted this similar life to what I had. And, I quit my job.
Sure,
I've moved, right? What we
totally.
do, but kind of just followed a dream. And I kept getting people asking, "How do you do that? How do you do that?" And my background being in sales, marketing, business operations, it started to click that I knew it wasn't that hard to do what I did. And I wanted to help other people to realize that because you don't need to wait until you're, 65 years old to
No,
retire to enjoy your
absolutely
life.
not.
You can enjoy
Yeah,
it right now. So that's kind of where the idea came from for the coaching. And to be honest, at the time,
excellent.
this all kind of came around. I didn't really even understand what business coaching was. I was just looking for a way to help people, and that's said where the travel blog came in. And it transitioned into, as I did more and more research, I realized I can be a coach and a consultant. And I had done other kinds of consulting in the past, but never coaching. So the Exennial Traveler was born. I started taking, my coaching certifications to really,
Can't see the website. I've
no,
got the
no.
website pulled up here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely check it out. So it was born, and we've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs to build, grow, and scale their businesses in the online space to be able to support that independent location independent lifestyle that we both have been able
Mhm.
to develop ourselves and to go places like the Virgin Islands, Thailand, Mexico, wherever. I literally have clients all over the world that all have this dream of being able to work while they travel, as
Amazing.
do you. So you understand that, and yeah, so
I
helping
haven't been traveling much recently. I've been over
yeah,
in Thailand for three
but
years,
you
so I'm
can.
more of a I don't really the funny thing is I don't really consider myself a digital nomad anymore. More like a digital expat,
Yeah,
living
yeah,
in
yeah,
Thailand.
exactly. I mean,
But
and
pick
we've
it back up again
we've
anytime.
become similar with, the Virgin Islands. We lived here full time for a while, like you do with
Uh-huh.
Thailand, and had some businesses here. Um, and right before COVID started, we decided to kind of go do some traveling. So we've been technically homeless since about
Homeless.
yeah, homeless since March of 2020. Now we moved here for the first time in 2016, um, and we've been location independent technically ever since. Now I do we still have a wedding planning business here in the Virgin Islands, which brings us
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah, yeah. So that
Uh,
brings us here. I know you do wedding photography too, right? So I kind of got a little over.
not so much. I probably should get into that because it's very lucrative, right? But I'm more like on virtual tours side for
Okay, yeah,
hotels.
yeah, the tourism side, yeah, it is lucrative.
But
I have, some
uh-huh.
friends obviously that I work with that are
Look,
photographers, and
yeah,
it's not bad. It's not a bad gig if you don't mind weddings.
that's where I'm not particularly interested in shooting weddings for one reason or another. But there's a lot, especially over here in Samui and Phuket, people come to this paradise island to get married.
Yeah,
It makes perfect
yeah, here
sense.
too. I mean, destination weddings, and
So,
I will say destination weddings are way better, like when it comes to working with them than like in the States. I did weddings for my corporate job, and I hated it, to be honest. The completely different vibe.
bridezillas, as they're called, I think
Yeah, yeah, you don't get those
we
here because
counter
they're
a
just
lot of
like,
that.
here, I'm on vacation. I want you to do everything, and I don't even care.
Ah, throw
It's great.
everything at you, but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's great.
So you've been doing wedding planning for a while, but you would say that, obviously the business coaching consulting takes up
hmm
the bulk of your time, right?
Yeah.
That's your bread and butter, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the coaching and consulting. That's I mean, I love the wedding planning. That's kind of become more of a creative outlet. For
Hmm.
me, the coaching is there's just something really powerful about helping people to fulfill their dreams and their goals and to really just transform, not just like fulfill those goals, but to transform into like a completely different version of themselves. I'm sure, you can
Yeah,
probably relate to
it's
this,
empowering.
the person that you were before you moved to, Asia was probably a completely different version of you.
Completely different. Yeah, I did a complete 180, I would say.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So being a part of that and being able to facilitate that and kind of be a catalyst for that type of growth um, is amazing. And I get to work with so many amazing people throughout the
uh-huh.
world that, come from this idea of I want to work independently. I want to do this, but I have no idea what to do to, making, $10,000, $20,000 US, months that are supporting themselves in this lifestyle. And it's so freaking powerful and amazing.
I may need your help at some point because I'm not nearly to that level yet. But
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
yeah, I made a video. I did a video interview with Retired Working for You. I don't know if you follow his channel by any
hmm
chance.
I have
I
seen
use,
some. I did see that video. Yes.
yeah. So that's actually what got me thinking about just starting to interview other digital nomads, right? Because
hmm
that was kind of the impetus for it. And I was just talking about my cost of living on $1,000 a month on a paradise island in Thailand,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, and and yeah, now here we are. Like I want
Yeah.
to start interviewing
Exactly.
other
And
digital
I think,
nomads.
hello,
Makes
to
sense.
all those digital nomads, aspiring digital nomads. I think aspiring digital nomads like to hear these stories
Mhm.
to help them, kind of plan, give them that visualization of what's possible. And, even existing digital nomads, I think also, because I like your channel, just to kind of hear
Yeah,
those inspirational stories of other people that are doing what they're doing. And I think it's really
yeah,
great
sure.
to have that platform for us to communicate and to share that message with the world. And we're definitely a unique breed. I think a lot of us that make these moves to be digital nomads, we have a lot of similarities.
Sure.
It's nice to
And
be
now
able
I
to
recently
relate.
read a statistic that there's 35 million digital nomads around the world now. So this trend
Yeah,
is
that
just
number is
continuing to
growing
gain
like at an
momentum.
insane rate. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
So
we're kind of the movers and shakers.
we are, and
We're
it's
leading
awesome
the
to
charge.
yeah, and it's awesome to share, like you said, like to share your story of how you can survive on $1,000 a month and the cost of living. And I
Yeah.
know when we were researching this lifestyle, like YouTube videos were like that was how I like figured out so much. I know you posted
Hmm.
something that Kristen had
Yeah, that's right.
posted,
Yeah,
and
she's
I've never actually
yeah,
met her.
me
Kind of
neither.
got like a little girl crush on her because I think she's amazing and was a big part of what helped me to learn where we want to go and what to expect. So I think it's really important that you're doing this. And being able to share that.
No,
I will tell you, you
it's
cannot live in the U.S. Virgin Islands on $1,000 a month.
oh
So
no, no, yeah, it's obvious.
however, if
It goes
you
without
want
saying,
an
I think.
if someone wants an easy step into digital nomad life, the U.S. Virgin Islands, especially if you're from the States, I mean, this is for
Hmm.
U.S. citizens. It's super easy because you don't need anything. You can just move here with a driver's license. You don't have to have a
Oh,
passport
amazing.
or anything. I mean, I recommend it because then you can do a little more island hopping to other islands, but you don't need to do anything. You don't need a visa or anything to be here.
Wow. See, that's the best part about it because in
And you still get to
Thailand,
be in paradise.
I've had to go through so many visa related matters over here, getting my non-B, then converting to a work permit. Ah,
Yeah, I've
just
heard
a
so many
kind of a
stories.
pain.
So many stories. I had interviewed another digital nomad once, and she's traveling with her family, like kids in tow, and they were in Mexico
Uh-huh.
at the time, and didn't think they were going to be able to get their visa renewed, so they were like trying to like last minute plan,
Freaking out.
freaking out where are we moving to. They did end up getting it approved, but it's like yeah, because they went
It's
through like
not easy. That's one
months
of the
of
most
it.
challenging. Yeah, it's one of the most challenging things I would say about being digital nomad. That's
Yeah,
why more countries are forward-thinking countries are implementing digital nomad visas or remote work
yeah.
visas to kind of get around this. There's also a lot of like companies like Deal. Have you heard of Deal?
Yeah,
DEEL
yeah.
and Remote that take care of a lot of that stuff for the employer on the employee's behalf.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean that definitely. And
very cool.
for me, like I said, I work remotely for myself, and as long as I, follow the tax rules in the places that I am,
Yeah.
or where my business is based, which is in the U.S., I'm pretty good on that piece. I don't have to get work visas in most places, especially now, like I said, with the digital nomad visas. That makes it
Uh-huh.
easy to travel. We don't stay anywhere long enough where we generally would need that. Out of the country because we now have a place here part time, is because we've been spending more time here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which
That's your
is
home base.
yeah,
It's always
it's
good
the
to have a
closest
home
thing that
base
we have to a
someplace.
home base now. It's
Yeah.
we didn't have a home base since until last August, so we were literally like
Uh-huh.
just, I mean, homeless in the good
Not
sense of the word, being that we were just bouncing around.
I wouldn't call it homeless because that's a concept, right? But a house is a physical place. So you're houseless.
Yeah, our house file
There's a
is wherever we
slight difference
were.
there. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
don't
was,
have a lot of stuff, so it makes it easy to do that.
that's great. Just living out of a backpack, right? But I
Yeah,
want to talk
well,
more
I
about
haven't been able to downsize to a backpack yet, but we've
uh
gotten it down to be able to travel with just carry-ons and
one
our laptop
suitcase.
bags.
That's just as good, if not better.
Yeah, yeah. So we're getting there.
So tell me, like, I was a little bit curious, how do you come up with the name Exennial Traveler?
Yeah,
It
so
sounds
Xennial
like
Traveler.
millennial, but it's different.
Yeah, so I'm gonna date myself a little bit here age-wise, but Xennial is kind of a micro generation between millennial and Gen X. So if you were born
Okay.
between like
Huh.
1977 and 1985, now I've seen it go as low as 1975 and as high as 87 on some people's definition of what a zennial is. I think if you identify with
Hmm.
it, you can call yourself one, but ultimately it's kind of that micro generation where we were born at a time where we actually did have internet and computers and cell phones in the later years of our growing up, but we were also old enough to have gone through what it's like to live without those, and where our idea of a computer was playing Oregon Trail, when we were at school in the
Uh-huh.
computer lab on an old Apple computer. So yeah, that it's for me, I very much identify with the millennial generation more than Gen X, but there's still, like I said, that remembrance of being able to just a time when it
Yeah.
was normal to just go play outside and ride your bike, and when you didn't come
Oh,
home
those were the days.
yeah, when you didn't come home for dinner, sorry, the sun's getting out of control here. Your
Oh,
mom
yeah.
would, instead of calling your cell phone or texting you, your mom would be yelling out into the neighborhood and calling the neighbors to see if you were there.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm gonna scoot back.
Oh,
There we
oh,
go.
there, that's better. Yeah. That sun was overexposing everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't want
How
to.
are the sunsets in Virgin Islands? I would imagine they're pretty spectacular, right?
Yeah, they're pretty spectacular now where we are, like on the north, west side of the island, we definitely get better sunsets. Although the people across the street, or we get the sunrise, they get the sunset
Sunrise, yeah.
because we're like on the
Uh-huh.
top of a top slash side of a mountain. So we just get the one
Wow.
view, but they're amazing. They're amazing.
I bet. Yeah. In Samui, we live in Lamai, which is on the eastern coast. So
Okay.
we don't get sunsets, but we get sunrises. And then you can easily drive 30 minutes. It's not a very big island. Drive 30
Yeah.
minutes to Bangkok to watch the sunset.
Yeah, our
It's
island isn't too big, and
pretty
I think it's
easy.
like less than 30 miles, 27, 28 miles from end to end. So it's
Okay.
not too big.
So yeah, I think Samui may be a little bit bigger, but not much more.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
it's great.
cool. So what are your travel plans for this year? Do you already have things mapped out? Or are you planning on going to
No,
places maybe?
I've stopped mapping it out and just kind of like going with the deals. That's my
Uh-huh.
favorite thing to do is just see like, okay, what I have all sorts of email signups and I look at the deals that come in and if something appeals to me and I'm like, okay, let's book that. Or if
Uh-huh.
somebody that I'm following inspires me and I want to go visit where they're going, I'll go there. But I base it a lot
Cool.
of times on the pricing. Um, so this year, we're here in the Virgin Islands until May. We'll go back to the States in the summer and spend some time with our parents and our families and friends. And we were
Very.
talking Hawaii, Costa Rica, Portugal, maybe on the docket for the rest of the year. Also going to be checking out some trusted house sitters, the gigs, and see what we can come up with. Um, so that also potentially determines it if you can do house sits and have a
I
free
don't really
place to
know
stay.
much about house sitting. That's where you're just taking care of someone's dogs or you're looking after their house while they're
Yeah,
away and you
yeah,
pay the
and
security.
we haven't done a lot of it yet, but I have friends that do it. Like I know someone who has literally like done house sitting for like the last like 5 years, has not had a house of their own. And
Wow.
yeah, it's usually, I mean, almost always, from what I've heard, they have a pet or pets or farm animals. I mean, I've seen some where it's like, come
Hmm.
take care of our goats and our sheep and our cows. So there's all sorts of different opportunities out there, and there's places all over the world that you can
Yeah.
find to go stay for free. Some of them will include their car, most don't, but you get a free place to stay in exchange for taking care of their pets, their animals,
Hmm.
and sometimes people are gone for a few days, sometimes people are gone for a few months. And so I even know one person where they were at someone's house for like a year and a half.
Wow. What?
I know,
Are,
right?
that's
I can't
they
imagine
just
leaving my
decided
pet
not to
for a
come
year
to.
and a half personally, but whatever.
Hopefully, it was a really nice place or a nice house, because otherwise,
Yeah, exactly. So we've been
miserable.
kind of checking out what's out there and what's available to
Uh-huh.
see. There's a lot in Europe, so we might be going to Europe. We'll see.
Awesome. I still have never been to Europe, believe it or not.
Me
I went to
either.
the airport in London once, but I didn't leave, so that doesn't really count.
Doesn't really count if you're
The
just in the
layover.
airport. Yeah.
I had to
um,
fly from Buenos Aires in Argentina to London to get back to Austin, Texas. It was the weirdest flight I've ever been on. It's like
it must
28
you must have
hours.
gotten a good deal. I see those sometimes, and it's like this an
It was
amazing
very
deal,
cheap.
and then you're like, then it's going to take you 18 days to get home because of all of the layovers.
Okay.
But for me, like I don't know about you, I actually like I love the travel, like the process of the travel as much as being in the destination. So I probably would have
Yeah,
picked.
the journey is the destination.
Yeah. My husband, on the other
So,
hand, completely like hates the air travel and everything, the airport and everything that goes with it, but I love it.
yeah, I had to go to Bangkok recently to get my work permit taken care of. And just to get back to Samui, it's more expensive to fly out of the island because flights are expensive, right? So
Yeah.
there's another airport. You got to take a boat. You got to take a boat and then, like a taxi 40 minutes to get to this other one
Oh,
because
geez.
it's a lot cheaper. And then you fly to Bangkok and then, but it's just probably more trouble than it's worth, right?
Yeah, but again, it's kind of fun
But
sometimes.
it's
So
an
when you
adventure.
Yeah, it is. So when you fly, it's like an actual like commercial flight, or is it like you're hopping like the seaplanes?
And more like a puddle jumper. Well,
Okay.
it's an I would say like a 737. It's
Yeah, okay,
it's a
that's
nice
pretty big.
plane.
Yeah. When we like
A very small airport.
yeah, we have a small airport too. It's like we know the schedule of like the flights pretty much. Like when I have brides coming in, had some come in yesterday. I'm like, okay, what airline are you on? Because there's really only three flights that will come in. Are you on Spirit? Are you on American? Or are you on Delta?
Uh-huh.
It's one of those
Those are the
because there's
only
only
options to
one
choose
flight from
from.
each.
In Samui, we only have Bangkok Airways. They have a monopoly on the island, so they can charge whatever they want.
Charge whatever they
It's the
want. Yeah.
only airline company. Sometimes you'll see like some private jets flying in for the really, really rich people. But usually it's just that's your only option.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get that here. The most recent actually was Air Force One, because
Oh,
yeah, Joe Biden has been
he came.
vacationing here for years, so he was here. I was not
Wow.
actually on island. We were back in the States, but he was here for New Year's.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's pretty neat.
that's not a common occurrence here, though.
No, probably not. So let's see. Yeah, I don't really have like a list of questions prepared, kind of just fully
Yeah,
unscripted.
which I mean, I honestly
But
prefer that. I mean, just a
same here.
conversation.
That's why I do it this
So,
way.
I mean, you know a little bit more about your audience. I know a lot of people though
Mhm.
are looking for remote work opportunities.
Yeah.
So in terms of those of you that are looking for opportunities, I don't know how much you talk about the idea of entrepreneurship, because I think a lot of people too
Not
are
as
just
much as I probably should.
and that's the thing. Like I didn't think about it before I was doing the entrepreneur thing as much, and that for
Uh-huh.
me, I found when I was looking into this and I was looking for jobs and I found it sometimes really hard. And
It
I
can
don't
be
know.
very
There's statistics out there too. I don't remember the exact statistics, but as like men, like you qualify, if you qualify for like two things on a list of jobs, you'll apply for it, right? But as a
Mhm.
woman, if we don't qualify for like 80% of the job requirements, we don't apply for it. So I found like I was applying, not applying. Oh,
Mhm.
I don't really qualify for that. And it got kind of discouraging. And that's when it was kind of like, it clicked the idea of, well, why don't I try to start my own thing and
Yeah.
see where that can take me? Um, so
Good
for
thinking.
me, like so that has been like a catalyst for my own growth, and I think it's something that we don't a lot of people don't talk about enough. I don't know about you, but in my family, entrepreneurship was not a normal thing.
No, not neither in my family. They've all worked for my dad's worked for the same company 15 years.
Yeah, and
So
it's just
doesn't start his
it's a
own
different
business.
concept. So yeah, I think it's important to talk about that if people are desiring this lifestyle that you have, that I have, that all the other digital nomads, yes, some of you are working, some of you have great gigs with companies, some are freelancing, but the idea of
And
starting your
kudos to those people, by the way.
own, yeah, exactly. Um, I mean, entrepreneurship similar to freelancing, but I don't know. I think it's a little more in your control versus like doing the Upwork thing, which
Oh, yeah.
I don't do
Fiverr.
Upwork. I don't know if you've ever done it. I
No,
have, and they like
I've
froze
tried in the
my
past.
account
It's
and canceled my account. I had to start a new one
uh-huh.
because they said that I was doing something suspicious. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm starting my own
Or you're in
business, and
another
I'm going to get my
country.
own customers.
Yeah, exactly. And Upwork is mostly bottom of the barrel. It's they
Yeah,
pay almost
they
nothing.
pay
Then you have to
nothing.
submit multiple proposals. It's a pain in the butt.
It is, and I get so many people that when they come to me, and I'm just like, okay, like because people who already have businesses and but they're not making money and they're not getting clients and they're just like, well, this isn't working, and I'm going to Upwork, and it's like, no, 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 okay,
Yeah.
that's the first mistake. Like if you want to do your own thing, then we teach you how to market yourself, and you and I, again, have a social media presence, and that's part of it. It's instead of just going to Upwork and letting someone else pay you bottom of the barrel, charging
Exactly.
20% commission of anything that you're making. You get to be in control of who you work with and getting to choose who you work with. So it has
And
been a
you have
life
the
changer
time
for me.
freedom too.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's one thing that I love about entrepreneurship. I can set my own hours. Of course, now
Yes.
I'm actually working for a company over here, but it's only 12 hours a week. So
So you still have
It's
kind of a
not a
little
big time
flexibility
commitment.
there. Yeah, yeah,
Still
exactly. You
have
set your own
flexibility,
hours. I
just
guess.
doing my best to keep the job so I don't lose the work permit at this point. Then I got
Yeah,
to leave. If
exactly.
that happens, I have to leave Thailand in 7 days, which
And
is
I don't need
pretty
the work
outrageous.
permit. I don't need the work permit, so it allows me a
That's
little
the
more
best thing about it.
freedom. But yeah, like
Yeah.
yesterday, for instance, I had some meetings in the morning, and in the afternoon we went beach scouting for a wedding that we have this weekend because
Uh-huh.
there's a giant seaweed problem right now. So finding a beach
Uh-oh.
without seaweed has been a challenge. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's how I spent my afternoon. And today we're chatting here, and then I'm gonna go run some errands, and I'll do work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I work a lot, but I love what I do. But to have that
That's the most
flexibility
important
and
thing,
that
right?
freedom to do it
Yeah.
wherever, like if I want to go into town on Wednesday, I was working from the coffee shop. Today, I'm working from my patio with an
Hmm.
amazing view, and just that freedom. Or if my parents call and
There you go.
they say, hey, we need some help with something. Are you available? I can fly back to the States and go help my parents out and still bring my computer and work. And I don't have to ask anybody, or if I just want to take the time off. And last month we took just a short jaunt to Puerto Rico. We were only there for a week. So I'm like, I'm not going to work because I want to enjoy it. I only have a week here and you can do that. So yeah, definitely if you're seeking time, freedom of location, that flexibility, entrepreneurship is definitely the way to go. And for me, I'm very much a free spirit. So
I
I
can
did
tell.
I didn't think about entrepreneurship, honestly. Like when I was younger, I knew that I was in the tourism and travel industry for a long time. So I figured that was my in to be able to travel more. But I was still tied to a desk and just like, nope, this isn't for
Yeah,
me. How can I do something different? And you know, said my first book or it was an ebook that I found on the concept of digital nomadism was about 7 years ago on a flight to New Zealand. I read it, I
uh-huh.
downloaded it, read it, and my life has like never been the same since. Um,
Game changer.
yeah, it's game changer. So entrepreneurship, if that is something that is in your wheelhouse, if you don't mind, I could definitely tell people, some options that
There's a
might
very
be.
good author I like. His name's Chris Guillebeau. I've actually met him at a book signing a couple of years ago. But he wrote the $100 Startup, Side Hustle. I think it's something Side Hustle. He's got quite a few, like
The
five or
hundred
six,
dollar
I think.
startup, I know. I don't know the other one, but yeah, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
the concept, and for me, one of the books. This wasn't the one that got me into digital nomadism, but that got me into entrepreneurship. Was just listening to inspirational speakers like Mel
Uh-huh.
Robbins or Jen Sincero. I don't. Her books are definitely geared more towards women, but the "You Are
Yeah,
a
I'm not familiar
Badass,"
with her probably for that reason.
yeah, "You Are a Badass."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
books. She's hilarious. I listen to the audiobooks because she actually reads them and they're fantastic. But just getting kind of that spark of motivation of
Uh-huh.
what to do. And then the 4 hour work week. I mean, that one, that
Oh,
was
yeah, I've
that
got
was
it.
the catalyst. That was the
Uh-huh.
catalyst.
I've got that one over here, but believe it or not, I've never finished the book. I always get bored like three-quarters of the way through.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'll admit, sorry, Timothy Ferris, the author, but the first half of it, like where he's telling the stories and everything, is much more interesting. The second half is a lot
mhm.
more how he did it. I listened to the
Yeah,
audiobook, which again
I
makes it
should
get
just finish it
easier.
once and for all, right? Just finish the damn book, right?
Yeah, do the audiobook. Do the audiobook
Uh-huh.
because it's a little bit better, I feel like. And then you can
Sure.
listen to it while you're doing other things. Like for me, I like when I'm like taking walks and going hiking and stuff, I'll listen to audiobooks while I do it. It's great.
Cool. One of my claims to fame, though, is I actually have met Tim Ferriss before at a startup event in Austin because he lives in Austin, right? So he was there, and I basically just shook his hand. I kind of at a loss for words, didn't really know what to say. So I shook
Yeah,
his
right.
hand, made a
Right.
picture
It's
with
kind of
him,
that
and
like,
that was
oh,
it.
I'm so
What do I
excited to
even?
meet you, but I can't say anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
speechless.
Totally get
He's
it.
too
Totally
smart.
get it.
But so I know there's a lot of islands around where you are in the Virgin
Mhm.
Islands. One of my friends is in Barbados right now, and he's always posting pictures of the place. Looks
Mhm.
amazing. So do you travel to some of those other islands as well? Or?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, they don't make it super easy to island hop down here. So
Hmm.
we do, but the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and like I guess technically they call them the Spanish Virgin Islands, but like the little islands off of Puerto Rico, those are all way more accessible than like say
Okay.
Barbados. To go to Barbados, I would have to fly to Miami and catch a flight to Barbados, which
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's not
so,
so
or
bad.
like there's some like if I fly to Puerto Rico, I can definitely fly to more places because they have a much larger airport because San Juan
What
is.
about Cuba? Are Americans allowed to go to Cuba?
Um, I don't really. Yes, I mean yes, they are. I don't know the stipulations. I have a couple of friends that live
Hmm.
here that got married a
Just
few years
curious.
back, and they took a cruise. They flew to Puerto Rico to catch a cruise to
Huh.
Cuba, but I don't really know the stipulations like if like flying there and like going on a trip.
Yeah, I have
It's
no
on my
clue. I
bucket
was
list.
just
It
curious.
is, but again, it's like they got to go through a cruise ship to get on there. Otherwise, you probably have to fly to Miami.
Hmm.
But we
And
like to
then
island
there's
hop.
Haiti too, right? Haiti, but it's supposed to be very, very dangerous there. I've watched
Yeah,
some
yeah. I mean, well, if
documentaries about the
Haiti's
place.
the Dominican Republic is on one side of the island
Yeah,
and Haiti's on the other. So I mean, the Dominican
heaven and
definitely
hell.
has its fair share of crime as well, but it's a very big destination for expats, digital nomads, vacations from the U.S., Canada,
Uh-huh.
um, but just maybe stay away from the center of the island. So,
Probably a good idea,
where
right?
the border comes in, yeah. So, but there's tons of different islands here in the Caribbean. I have a friend, a colleague actually. She's part of the my coaching team inside of the membership that I have, and she's actually traveling around on her sailboat
Oh, wow.
around and island hopping that way. So
That
that's
sounds amazing.
yes, she is a badass because I can't even imagine what she has like. I've been following her journey, and we're literally like she's right now. I don't remember what island she's on. She's Dominica, Grenada. I
Yeah,
don't even remember, Vicky. Sorry.
somewhere,
But she's somewhere,
somewhere in
but
the
we're so
Caribbean.
close. Like we're so close. Like if we were in the US, we would have been driving to see each other, but it's so difficult to catch a flight like that we're not going to
Mhm.
even like cross paths even though we're so close.
There's a good movie on Netflix called True Spirit. It's about Australian sailor, and she sailed all circumnavigated the entire
Mhm.
globe. Very, very interesting,
Yeah, it's
fascinating.
insane. We used to think, my
Right.
husband and I, my husband likes to sail. He used to have a dream of doing that. And then we moved to the Caribbean and saw the damage that like just the ocean, the salt water, everything else does to a boat and how often you're fixing it. And he's just like,
Yeah, it's
I don't want to
probably
deal
not
with
worth the
that.
investment.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I know they, like I said, Vicky, my friend, they lost their motor and had to be towed into shore by the Coast Guard.
Oh no.
Luckily, they had a
Ooh.
satellite radio. Yeah.
One of the very nice things about where am in Samui is it's kind of in the protected Bay of Thailand, so we don't get any natural disasters. There's no tsunamis here in recorded history, pretty much. And it's also within
Wow.
very close to the mainland, and then you've got Koh Phangan and Koh Tao. So we're
Nice.
actually going to Koh Phangan tomorrow. It's kind of like a little bit more hippie island. There's a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
digital nomads over there, way more so than Samui. So we're just gonna, me and my girlfriend are gonna do a day trip over there. It's only
Nice.
45 minutes by boat.
Nice.
We'll
Nice.
ride a motorbike around the island, explore, come back to Samui. This is the home base.
Yeah, see, the closest
So,
boat ride, St. Croix is kind of isolated. We can take a boat over to St. Thomas, but it's like a 2 hour ferry ride, or you can take a
hmm,
20-minute seaplane flight over there, which is how I've gotten. I've never taken the ferry. I do the seaplane because that's kind of a cool experience in itself. Like the float planes
I
where you
bet.
take off and land on the water. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like that over here, unless you take a jet ski. You could take a jet ski to
Hey,
that
that could be
island
fun
in
too.
20
I don't know.
minutes.
I'd be kind of
Yeah.
scared to like island hop with a jet ski though, personally for me.
Uh-huh. And now in Copenhagen, they have these full moon parties, which were canceled during COVID for the longest time, right?
Hmm.
Because they didn't want to spread the virus.
Right, right.
And now they're back on again. There's like 20,000 people on the beach,
Oh my
all
God.
partying, raving, doing who knows what.
Wow.
And I
I was
still
gonna
have
say we
not
have
been to
full moon
one,
parties
but
here too, but not like that.
this is like next level.
Yeah, that sounds
And
insane.
then
That
all
sounds
the
insane.
tour, they all come in civilian. It either gets really busy, and then they all go over to Copenhagen for this full moon party. I gotta check it
Uh,
out one of these days.
yeah, I love it. Thailand
But
is definitely
yeah.
on my bucket list. Said with clients worldwide,
Uh-huh.
I want to travel the world, but it does also sometimes kind of hinder because um, we stick mostly to like North South America, Central America, like this region now, time
It's a
zone
good
wise.
region.
So
Sure.
that I'm not having to work at night because I am not at my best in the evenings. That's for
Well,
sure.
even just take like a week or 2 week vacation over
Yeah,
here,
and
maybe.
that's exactly what we're going to do. I think this
Clients on
summer,
hold.
this summer, the plan is to do a little bit more of that. Not so much the
Uh-huh.
long travel that we've been used to, where we're staying months at a time, but just taking more vacations, not just
Sure.
you know, not living necessarily, but vacations. Digital nomads take vacations too. So
Sure. I need
yeah,
to take a vacation pretty soon.
I know. People probably hear us say we need to
God.
take a vacation with
But
where we live, and they're like, "What are you guys talking about?
yeah,
We
well,
live
you
in
could be on
paradise."
vacation every day if you want to. Just go to the beach. It's 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I kind of
Chill
feel like
out.
I should turn around my camera here and show you what I'm looking at. Um,
You can if you want.
yeah, let me just do that because when I
Let's
tell
take a
people,
look.
oh, I need a vacation, they're like, "What?
Oh,
Really?"
it's probably amazing,
So
right?
yeah, that's our view.
Wow. That's incredible.
So yeah, I can't complain too much. So oh, hold on, what did I do
You got
now?
the sea view.
What did I do with my
Is it?
camera?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Just touch, maybe if you touch the screen, it will readjust or click on it. I'm not sure what happened there.
there we go.
Oh,
Woo, I'm back. That was new. It did not like the sunshine, apparently.
messed up the camera. So you just have like is it like a villa on the hill?
We actually, it's just a downstairs apartment in a house. It's very common here
Okay.
in the Virgin Islands for people to be able to afford to live here in their homes. They usually build like apartments or little,
Hmm.
yeah, like little additional villas. So they have rental income. So
Yeah, that makes
we
sense.
rent the downstairs of a house. Um,
It's kind of like a duplex.
yeah, so ultimately it's like a duplex, but
Uh-huh.
it's the way it's set up. It's perfect because like you don't even know that anybody is above us. Like it's just straight out. We have no neighbors.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
So,
Over here, you can get like a sea view villa for about 80,000 baht a month.
okay, I feel like
That's
which is
$2,500 roughly. Three
yeah, that's
bedroom,
not too
two
bad.
three bedroom
We
with
have
a pool.
I won't even say what we're paying here because we got a steal. We got an amazing deal, and it's kind
Yeah.
of unheard of, and it's not the norm for living here. And but you could get a two-bedroom like house with a view on the beach probably for a few thousand here.
Okay. Yeah, that's well, it's about the same
It's
as
about the
probably over
same,
here in the
but
States.
it's coming down. It's coming down. I think I don't for those that traveled, at all during COVID, and it's still this way in a lot of places, but the prices have just skyrocketed because so many
Oh
people
yeah.
have been able to work
Inflation.
remotely and start traveling that places that used to be cheap have now started to go up.
And
Yeah.
same here in Somalia too. Like we got a COVID deal at our house. We're paying less than $300 USD per month.
Wow.
Try to
Wow.
find that in the States. It ain't
Like
gonna
you're
happen.
never moving.
There's no way. It's and we've got a beautiful view of the mountain with palm trees outside. And now they're probably gonna raise the rent, but not significantly. So
Yeah, yeah.
still dirt cheap. Can't beat it.
Oh, yeah, no, you really can't beat this life. And again, that's I just,
Geo
if you're watching
arbitrage.
this, yeah, take the leap and do it, because
Hmm.
you're only gonna live once, and you might as
Exactly.
well enjoy it.
YOLO.
Go have experiences like this.
Hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
People that just stay in, like people like my parents that stay in the US their entire lives and they never experience a different culture.
Hmm.
Uh, it's very limiting, right? So you gotta broaden your horizons,
Yeah,
see
it
more of the world.
is. And, I guess I look at it as some people just have not been opened up to the idea yet. And some people just don't even realize what's possible.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my
You
parents are
gotta
not
open their
necessarily
lift the
well
veil.
traveled either. But yeah, but literally the world is at our fingertips. We can do anything. We can work from anywhere. We can
Yep.
be anywhere in the world within a day if we want to. So don't wait till you're 70 years old and not physically able to actually enjoy this life.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
you're
like,
on crutches, like hobbling
yeah,
around,
it's just like
trying to.
the concept of retirement to me, like I don't know if I'll honestly ever fully retire because I
Mhm.
love what I do so much. But the concept of having to wait till you reach a certain age to actually like start enjoying life, that just is so
It's
backwards to me.
stupid.
So it's just
Stupid.
like what your body like is just you're not physically able to do the same things when you're older like that. Like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I agree. Like when
Your
you're
body and your mind is
70 years
failing.
old, you should be able to relax a little bit, but that shouldn't be the first time that you're enjoying your life like this.
I'd much rather be sipping cocktails on the beach when I'm 36
Yeah.
versus 75 and I can't even see anymore. Like I need to wear bifocals or it's ridiculous.
Exactly. So, although I'll say, like, I can't snorkel without my glass. I have a hard time snorkeling already because I have to take my glasses off and I can't see that well. But
Yeah,
I can't imagine what it
it's
would be like
tricky.
at 70.
No, no, not
So,
fun.
yeah, but take the leap now.
So this kind of leads into, we'll probably wrap up the interview pretty
Yeah,
soon, but I want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing with the business coaching, right? Because I
yeah.
think one of the biggest fears that I've personally encountered, and I know a lot, it's common with a lot of other people too, is just not having, they don't think they have the financial resources to make
Hmm.
this a reality.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, I need more money in the bank. I need my stock to go up, or blah, 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 all these different reasons why they think it's not possible. But this is one of the things you help with your business
Yes.
is actually get them to 10K per month. So they don't have to
Yeah,
worry about
exactly.
it.
Exactly. And to be able to have those financial means, and it doesn't have to be, I mean, let me just say, like, you need to know what you need to feel safe, because some people might need $10,000 a month or need, $10,000 in the bank at all times. And some people are totally fine, like on a whim. But when you create a business for yourself, when you create a business for yourself, you get to create that reality of what you need. I actually
Mm-hmm.
had this, I did an interview with Vicky, the one that I was talking about that lives on the sailboat, inside of my Facebook group. We chatted the other day about building a location independent business that allows you that the freedom of time and location and that allows you to feel financially safe. Because that's the
Sure.
biggest thing that
Very
comes down
important.
to is whatever you need for safety. And that is absolutely, what we help people to do is to build those businesses that support the lifestyle, but also allow you to do things that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, because that's the thing with entrepreneurship. Like, you get to write your own plan. You don't have to have anybody tell you how to work, when to work, what you do. Like, you can find things
How many
that,
hours?
right, exactly. If you want to work 40 hours, great. If you want to work 4 hours, great. You are in control of how that goes. And how fast you get there it does sometimes depend on the amount that you work. So I'll say that if you want to start off working 4 hours, it might take a little longer. Um, but
Yeah.
yes, with
But a
business
lot of these
coaching, that's absolutely.
entrepreneurs, a lot of these entrepreneurs are under the impression you got to be working 60 hours a week, which is just, you're not being efficient, right? You have to automate things or hire a
Right,
virtual assistant
right.
or something.
And I mean, my virtual assistants have been huge. And I think, it's all, um, a graduated, process. And as you grow, then you're able to realize and recognize the areas where you can improve and put
Sure.
some of those things in place. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do work 50, 60-hour weeks, but it's because I
Uh-huh.
choose to, because I love what I do. And I just want it to, said, I'm passionate about it. So being in a position to not have to do that, to be able to choose that's what entrepreneurship is you get to choose
Sure.
this life. And for those that maybe don't have the financial means to hire a virtual assistant or somebody to do it for them yet, that's exactly kind of the ecosystem that we've created. And I have something called the Strategy and Support Society, which is literally built for digital nomads and for remote-based entrepreneurs so that
Uh-huh.
you get the support of the people like myself. I have a team of, myself included, 8 coaches right now, 8 coaches and experts. We have tech and automations experts. We have sales coaches and all sorts of different experts within that membership to support you, to help you get there faster, to help put those
Yeah.
things in place and help you build the
It's
website.
like an accelerator, right?
Set up the
Accelerator program.
automations, exactly, accelerate the process, because you can absolutely do all these things on your own. YouTube has
Yeah.
there's lots of freebies, but there's also lots of freebies out there that you buy it, you are not buy it, but like you download it with the intention of like, oh, this is going to teach me what I need to do. And then all they're trying to do is just sell you something else. And it's a lead magnet.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong.
That's so
I am
common.
sure you have a lead magnet. I have a lead magnet, but those are
Uh,
not what are meant to, and they're meant to help you a little bit, but to help, businesses grow. So the Strategy and Support Society, it's something that we've created to be not only uh, supportive and giving you, like I said, whatever you need to get more clients, more leads, build those automations, build the life that you want. But it's built in a way that it is affordable for people that, especially
mhm.
that are on kind of a shoestring budget. So it's right now too, especially it's amazing, and we have a special deal for your
Yeah.
audience in
Yeah.
particular. So
I'm This is one thing I personally could use help with myself is just getting more consistent clients, right? Because I have a very large audience already. And then just there's some piece that's missing, right?
yeah,
Or not
and
piece,
I'll tell you,
something,
I'm
right?
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I've looked at your audience too. I'm like, I don't think he's tapping into this fully because it
No,
has
no,
so
no,
much
definitely not.
potential. But yeah, that's exactly what we help
Well,
people do. I myself am business, marketing, social
mhm,
media, strategy, and so we have so many other experts in there that are going to help you to get there faster.
yeah,
If you are part of Mike's audience, you also can start that for $1. So like I said, it's literally a
one
no-brainer,
dollar.
literally a
It's a
no-brainer.
no-brainer.
So um,
So tell us more about like where they can sign up for your program. I'm gonna leave an affiliate link in the description below where you can
yeah,
sign up.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
I said, go to the link that Mike shared to make sure that you get that dollar deal. And you go to the website, read, and click literally just sign me up. You will get the details to join. It's that simple. You can also, of course, if you want to learn more about me and um, what we offer, you can also connect with me on social media. I'm not sure if you'll drop those links as well to
I'll
follow
leave
me
those in the
on social
description too.
media, and feel free to reach out, ask me any questions. Make sure that you mentioned that you saw me here. So again, we can make sure that you get that dollar deal. But like I said, it's really very simple. It's 30 days for $1. There's no pressure. Like, come in and take advantage. And it's coaching sessions, open office hours where you can come ask questions, get help. It's 24/7 voice and text messaging support. So like literally like
Wow.
at 10 o'clock at night, someone will leave a message. And I mean, because we have global team and global clients. So we have to be a little bit 24/7 where,
Fully distributed.
hey, yeah, hey, I'm really stuck on this, or I have a client call tomorrow and I'm a little nervous about my sales presentation, or I'm really stuck on how to like connect this email automation to my sales page. I need
Mhm.
help. So these are the types of things. And then full on coaching, mindset coaching, as well as personal wellness. We even do yoga together. We have yoga
Oh
3
wow.
times a month because business success is holistic. Success in general is holistic. It comes from all areas of your life. And it's not
Mhm.
just having
Body and
the
mind.
right automations. It's having the right mindset and having the right physical health to sustain you as you go. So
Yeah,
literally
I agree with that
everything
because
you need to build a successful, sustainable, remote-based business under one virtual roof. So
excellent.
yeah. And like I
Well,
said,
thanks so much
click the
for
link below, $1 for 30 days and come come use it out of there. Even if you say like, I don't know if I can continue. And right now our founding member prices honestly are still very, very reasonable, like less than
Yeah, and
$200
if you can't
US.
afford a dollar, then you're
But you
probably,
can afford a dollar, exactly, and
I
it's
don't
for
know
a
what your
month.
problem is.
And I know we recently just had someone come in, and she had been a former client of mine, but she had gotten laid off, so she had to pause, and she hadn't gotten a client yet, and she's been trying for over a year to get a client. And she came in, she's like,
Wow, it's a
she's
long
like, if I
time.
don't get a client in the time that I'm working with you, I'm not going to be able to afford to continue. And
Hmm.
said the continuation fee right now is 147 a month. That will be changing. So I know this video is evergreen. So if you see this soon,
Yeah.
grab that deal, the dollar deal and the 147 right after. Um, but she was with us. She's been with us now for 3 weeks. Um,
Uh-huh.
and she just got her first client. She's like, I'm staying, like I'm never
Oh,
leaving. So I mean, and that's after going at it alone for a year on her own. Within 3 weeks
yeah,
of being
that's
a member, she
sometimes
was
you
in
just
there.
gotta,
So $1 could change your life. So yeah, it's
there
up
we
to you to make
go.
the choice of whether or not you want to do it.
I think that's a good way to wrap up the episode.
Yeah,
Interview, I
agreed.
should say. So yeah, thanks so much for agreeing to be on the channel, and
Yeah.
look forward to staying in touch. And obviously, I'm gonna, we'll share this when it's live.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. I really
Good thing.
enjoyed our conversation because really it is just like it's banter. And
Uh-huh.
again, for everybody
Unscripted.
watching, take take the leap, live life now on your terms.
Awesome.
Awesome. Bye.